Adolf Hitler's hatred towards Jews is well known and documented. He was a man who once said that the Jews were the scourge of mankind and frequently referred to them as the eternal poisoners. From his earliest days, Hitler had anti-Semitic beliefs, which he publicly expressed in his book Mein Kampf, and his tenure as the leader of Nazi Germany was marked by his persecution and extermination of millions of Jews during the Holocaust. In this video, we will attempt to explore the many factors that contributed to Hitler's irrational hatred of Jews and why it culminated in one of the worst tragedies of the 20th century. One of the primary factors that contributed to Hitler's hatred towards Jews was his belief in a racial ideology. Hitler believed in the concept of an Aryan race, which he considered to be the pinnacle of human perfection. He believed that Jews were a separate and inferior race, responsible for many of the problems that had beset Germany in the wake of World War I. Hitler believed that the Jews were responsible for Germany's defeat in the war, its economic troubles, and the spread of socialism and communism within its borders. He also believed that they were responsible for spreading various diseases and illnesses, leading to the allegation that they were eternal poisoners. Another key factor was Hitler's own experiences where he interacted with Jewish people. Hitler was a failed artist who, for a time, supported himself on the fringes of the art scene in Vienna. When he arrived in Vienna in 1907, he encountered a vibrant Jewish community there, which he found to be aggressive and unpleasant. Hitler later blamed the Jews for denying him the success that he believed he deserved as an artist. He also blamed them for his own hardships. He was homeless and penniless at this point, and he saw the Jews as being responsible for his misfortunes. Hitler's hatred of Jews was further fueled by the anti-Semitic attitudes that were prevalent in Europe during this time. Anti-Semitism was rampant throughout Europe, and many believed that the Jews were a subversive force that was responsible for many of society's problems. This attitude was particularly prevalent in Germany, where the Jews were often blamed for a variety of ills, from economic problems to the defeat in World War I. While Hitler's own feelings towards the Jews were undoubtedly a primary factor, they were also reinforced by the propaganda machine of the Nazi regime. Hitler's propaganda machine was one of the most effective in history and was instrumental in creating a climate of hatred towards Jews within Germany. State-funded newspapers, literature, radio broadcasts, and movies portrayed Jews as parasites who were destroying the fabric of German society. The propaganda machine encouraged public denouncements of Jews and their businesses, leading to a significant decrease in their social status and a widespread belief in their inferiority. Furthermore, Hitler's hatred towards Jews was also tied to his anti-communist beliefs and his fear of Bolshevism. Hitler saw Bolshevism as a Jewish plot and believed that the Jews were using communism to subvert German society. He was also particularly incensed by the fact that many Jews were active in socialist and communist movements across Europe. This reinforced his belief that Jews were a radical, subversive force whose influence had to be rooted out from society. Hitler's hatred of Jews ultimately led to the Holocaust, which saw the systematic extermination of millions of Jews across Europe. Anti-Semitic policies had been enacted in Germany from the moment the Nazis took power, and they eventually culminated in the final solution, a plan to eradicate the entire Jewish population of Europe. Those deemed too weak or unfit were sent to concentration camps, where they were worked to death, experimented on, or gassed and cremated. By the end of the Holocaust, 6 million Jews had been murdered, along with millions more individuals who did not conform to Nazi beliefs. So, dear friends, Hitler's hatred towards Jews was a result of diverse factors ranging from his belief in racial superiority to his experiences while living in Vienna and the influence of his propaganda machine. Genocidal anti-Semitic policies had been a primary feature of Nazi ideology since its inception, and the Holocaust can be seen as the ultimate manifestation of this hatred. While the majority of Germans, even in the army, did not actively engage in the atrocities of the Holocaust, their acceptance of the hateful rhetoric towards Jews laid the groundwork for the government's policies. It is crucial that we never forget the tragic events that led to this mass murder and continue to work diligently towards ensuring that such atrocities will never occur again in the future.